By the time he was 8 years old, he had lost 5 siblings. At 9, he was left for dead, only to awaken from a coma paralyzed. But he recovered from a seemingly hopeless state of body and mind. Bradley Quick is here to share with you his path from Skid Row junkie to successful talk show host, author, mentor, and motivational speaker. If you're looking for a better tomorrow, if you want a positive evolution, or if you're in need of a quick fix, you're in the right place. Now kick back and get ready for the top experts in the field of body, mind, and soul. Here on the Quick Fix with Bradley Quick. Purpose, power, motivation.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Quick Fix here on Cool Change Radio, your home for positive answers and the place for you to find that life and health solution you've been looking for. We're right here right now to inform you to the latest life enhancement techniques in many different areas, including health, fitness, nutrition, psychology, finance, weight loss, and a whole variety of other wonderful and life-empowering topics. Today's show is brought to you by the Cool Change Foundation. If you're fond of our show, if we brought you some breakthrough solutions, or you just want to help us stay on the air, please donate today. Come on, think about it. Make life better for you, we make life better for the kids. We make life better for the kids, we make life better for the family. It's a win-win deal. Everybody wins. No donation's too small. You can donate right now at www.thecoolchangefoundation.org. That's thecoolchangefoundation.org. And remember, it's time for a cool change with the Cool Change Foundation. Hey, welcome everyone. My name is Bradley Quick. I'm here as always to discuss solutions with you. I'm here to talk about having a better life experience and becoming the best you that you can be. Our guest today is Greg P. Russell. He's a guy that was running sound for some big names in Hollywood. He's been an Oscar winner and once and nominated 15 times. Hey, Greg, you ready for a great show?
Oh, you betcha.
All right.
Bradley.
You just sit tight. We'll be right with you. Fair enough?
You bet.
All right. Thank you all for joining us on CoolChangeRadio.com, BradleyQuick.com, and on Facebook.com. As you know, you can catch our live and recorded video shows and interviews on those sites and many other websites. And as always, you can listen to our archived audio interviews, hundreds of them, your favorite topics, favorite experts, and favorite personalities at BradleyQuick.com. Now, if you're looking for some insight, looking for some solution, and you're not hanging out on CoolChangeRadio.com, BradleyQuick.com is definitely the place to be. Later, former Mr. Universe Paul Medrano will be with us talking about fitness and healthy living in our Getting Fit with Mr. Universe segment. It's all going to happen shortly, so stay right where you are. Now, make a note. If you'd like to chime in with a question for my guest today, you can go to Yahoo Messenger. Go to Yahoo Instant Messenger, and our name there is Cool Change Radio. That's Cool Change Radio on Yahoo Instant Messenger, and we'll see if we'll add you as our friend after you add us, after you make a request, and we'll answer your questions for you. All right. In 1989, he received his first Academy Award nomination for his work on Ridley Scott's Black Rain. It was a mind blower, he said, of finding out that he'd been nominated. He said, my phone rang at 5:45 in the morning, only to have one of the other mixer guys screaming on the phone, we're in, we're in, we're in. He says he'll never forget that moment. Joining us now on the Quick Fix here on the Cool Change Radio and TV Network is Oscar winner and internationally renowned sound man, Greg Russell. Greg, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bradley. Thanks for having me.
So good to have you here, man.
Well, thanks. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, you've done so much, and it's all started out in Pennsylvania, didn't it? Or where did it start?
Well, I grew up in New Jersey. But I just may have to make one correction.
Oh,
I have yet to win the Oscar.
Okay.
I have won an Emmy, but I have yet to win the Oscar. I've been nominated 15 times, and still longing for that first Oscar
wait a
win.
second, and there's nothing to look down upon for winning an Emmy.
Yeah, well, no, that was fantastic, and that was a number of years ago for Jim Henson's Muppet. It was a Muppet movie of some television program. But anyway, it was fun to finally win something there. But the long run of Oscar nominations has been an absolute privilege and a true honor.
Not many get nominated for Oscars either.
No. I know many people that do what I do that have been doing it for 30 years that have never ever had the privilege of getting that call. And like you said, that was a pretty incredible moment in my life. I was 30 years old and
just a kid.
And yeah, and it was exhilarating. I'd never experienced anything like that. And about as exciting as it gets, but very blessed in that way, and it's been an unbelievable run all through these years, and we can talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you started. you found early that you had an ear for music, right?
Yeah, my
I mean, this is what, high school, grade school? What?
yeah. My dad is a studio musician. He's a trained. Went to Juilliard. Was the lead alto sax player in the Merv Griffin show back in New York, and so I was around music my whole life. All of his friends were all jazz musicians,
and you were also around the studios at the same time.
And a lot. I spent a lot of time in the recording studios, and I always saw that guy behind the panel, twisting knobs and getting levels and making things sound great, and that looked really appealing to me. And early on, I was since my friends, I gravitated to musicians. Most of my friends were musicians in rock bands in high school.
Right. Did you ever do rock bands from the stage part of it? Or
yeah, no, I'm looking at your little PA system over here, and I used to have a PA system that I used to do live sound for the bands that of the friends of mine in school. And that was kind of, I always loved manipulating sound, and found myself, my dad found at one of the studios that he had done a lot of work at, there was a renowned recording engineer named Bill Lazarus who held a class there.
It was in 1977, and you decided
correct.
You wanted to go to school. Go ahead.
That's correct. And so I got enrolled in this class and was positioned out of that first class as an assistant guy answering phones, and that was my first job in 1977 at a studio called TTG Recording Studios.
And who went through there? Who did you get to meet going through there?
Well, my mentor there was Ami Hadani. He was the owner and mixer of the facility, but we had worked with, people like Streisand had recorded there, and there's so many different artists that came through there, but primarily they did a lot of television scoring and film scoring from all the Spelling Goldberg shows like Love Boat and Heart to Heart and Vegas and shows of that nature. So they did all of that work upstairs, and they did record work down in the smaller studio downstairs.
Wow. So how long were you there?
I was there from 77 to 81, and then moved over to another studio named Evergreen in Burbank that was owned by Charlie Fox and Artie Butler. And that was just kind of a newer version of what it was that I was doing at TTG. A lot of record work there, and worked with Neil Diamond there and Air Supply and
now that must have been cool, because in those years, those were the hottest bands out there.
Yeah. No, it was a privilege, and at the time I was really seconding other engineers and watching.
But you were in the same room. You were looking through the glass at these people.
Absolutely, and
God, that must have just been exhilarating.
Well, it was. I was in awe of that, and more importantly, I think I had the great privilege of working with really talented recording engineers that I got to learn from, and I was really like a sponge when I was a young kid. I couldn't get enough of that, and so that was an amazing opportunity for me to actually work under some really talented recording engineers / producers.
Now, I know that because I lived through the 70s as well. I know that drugs were really prevalent.
Yeah, it certainly was.
And it was all passé then. I mean, passé when it was all okay. It was all fun. It was all we were all having a good time, right?
Yeah.
Did you get involved? Hanging out with these people in any?
Oh yeah. No, I specifically I remember working with a great recording engineer, Rick Riccio, and a producer, Harry Nielsen, who worked with Ringo and everything. Yeah. And there was so many drugs, and from the cocaine and pills and acid and everything else that was going on. And clearly, I loved to party. Don't get me wrong. Sure. This was the influence was what it was, but man, it was truly a part of my personality as well. And yeah, I took to that like water, and needless to say, it got a hold of me. It got a hold of me in a big way. And for whatever it's worth, my career and my reputation started to fall as a result of that.
What happened?
Well, like anything else, I would be, up all night partying
till
so
you're late,
wee hours.
You weren't
exactly.
You weren't looking right or sounding right. Or,
I was. The one studio working at Evergreen, I was actually fired there in 1983. They simply said, "You're one of the most talented guys we have here, but you're unreliable. We cannot depend on you because you got issues," and they were right on the money. And I remember the feeling of, oh my God, I've just lost my job.
Right. And this was the biggest job you had at this point.
It really was, because Evergreen elevated me financially, because upon making that move, they got me into the union, so my pay scale went up by triple of what I was doing.
But you were doing union jobs before then with no union card, right? On the promise that you were going to get a union membership.
Yeah, you actually you did your homework. Yeah, I did, and yet I don't regard those first 4 years, because the education that I got was on second to none.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And so even though I wasn't getting the financial, but
you were associating with all the union people who had got paid their dues and got there. So you're getting all that. You're sucking all that in like a sponge, right?
Yeah, exactly. But moving to Evergreen, I got, here's the thing, with getting that job there, I got into the union, and all of a sudden my pay scale went up like more than
more money.
More money. Well, more money for a guy who likes to party a little bit.
Party with some more money.
Partying with some more money. Needless to say, yeah.
Listen, I want to hear how you stubbed your toe and how you got back, how you came back. Because you didn't just abandon the whole thing right there, did you?
No, not at all. Not at all.
You're still in it today, and you've worked with some of the largest people, largest names. Some of the biggest blockbuster movies over the last dozen years you've been a part of.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's all about you winning, and that's what this whole thing is about.
Yeah.
But the music's just about to start.
Yeah,
when
go
the music
ahead.
starts, it's hard to talk to you at the same time, so we're going to wait till we come back.
We'll come back,
I love it.
You bet.
I am so excited. I am so excited. Stay put, everybody. If you got a habit you want to change, how would you do things different to better your life experience if you could? We just might have some insight for you. I'm here with Emmy winner and Oscar-nominated international renowned soundman Greg Russell. He worked on all Spelling Goldberg series, Love Boat, Heart to Heart, Vegas, Charlie's Angels, all that stuff. This is The Quick Fix, broadcasting live from Freddie Siegel Studios. I'm Bradley Quick. We'll be right back with more.
Today, experience The Quick Fix, a simple process for positive change. Written by Bradley Quick, author, producer, motivational speaker, and host of the award-winning radio talk show, The Quick Fix with Bradley Quick on CoolChangeRadio.com. Bradley's passion for life is evident in his book, written so you can experience health, find your purpose, and have more effective relationships. Beating insurmountable odds, overcoming death and being paralyzed, Bradley fought his way back so he could help you conquer your struggles. Experience increased health, vitality, passion, and purpose in your life right now with The Quick Fix, and read about Bradley's courage, ambition, and determination to live. Whether the issue is your thoughts, your physical body, or you just want to feel better and be happy, The Quick Fix, a simple process for positive change, will change your life. For only $19.95 plus shipping and handling. Take positive action now and receive a free guided meditation CD with your order. That's a $20 value free with your order today. Go to BradleyQuick.com. That's BradleyQuick.com. Take control and begin feeling better now. Get the book and free CD now at BradleyQuick.com.
You're listening to The Quick Fix with Bradley Quick. Purpose, power, motivation. We'll be right back.
Have you been to years of counseling and therapy only to realize that you're pretty much the same? If you're tired of reliving old patterns and convincing yourself that you're changing each time when you're really not, I've got someone that can definitely help. Meet my buddy Dr. Kevin Fleming of Gray Matters International. He's got some innovative coaching solutions just for you. He's a former neuropsychologist turned life coach for the purpose of helping you better your life through science and personal coaching. It's always better to have a coach. Just ask your favorite star athlete or executive. They'll tell you getting coached will take you to the next level and beyond. Dr. Kevin Fleming today. Call him at 877-606-6161. That's 877-606-6161 for a free consultation. He's on the phone for you at 877-606-6161 for your free consultation. My buddy, Dr. Kevin Fleming. Hey, welcome back. You listen to The Quick Fix here on Cool Change Radio, your home for self-improvement and a place for positive change. I'm Bradley Quick. We're right here right now to help you gain the upper hand in becoming all that you want to be. This section was brought to my buddies at GapZip.com, GAPZIP.com. They ask, how do you think? They say how you think is more important than what you think. It's one of the chief reasons why many of you get stuck when you try to take the next step in your career and personal relationships. I'm going to be joined by those two dynamic guys who founded GapZip.com, who actually teach people how to think. One was a monk for 35 years, and the other one of the world's most famous strategic thinkers and innovators. They're going to be here on Cool Change Radio with me tomorrow. That's March 28th. And so tune in here on Cool Change Radio, listen to the guys from GapZip.com, and learn a new way to think, all right? For those of you just joining us on CoolChangeRadio.com, Facebook.com, or BradleyQuick.com, welcome. You can listen to this show again or to hundreds of hours of other self-discovery content anytime you want by simply going to www.bradleyquick.com. You can also sign up for our weekly radio show email reminder, where once a week you'll receive the most recent interviews in the comfort of your own home or office, and you can listen at your convenience. And make sure not to miss your favorite authors, experts, or personalities. You can also podcast any of our shows or just listen to us anytime from anywhere at www.bradleyquick.com. All right, our guest today is Emmy winner and 15-time Oscar-nominated, internationally renowned sound man Greg Russell. In 1981, he moved to Evergreen Studios, where he got his union card and the opportunity to work with such artists as Neil Diamond, Al Stewart, Hart, Ringo Starr, and many others. Hey, buddy, welcome back.
Thanks, Bradley.
Man, so we were already at Evergreen, and things got too good. You got a bunch more money, right?
I did.
And you probably had a few ladies around you, huh?
Did. I was having a lot of fun back in the early '80s, and but lo and behold, you know, clearly. I knew that there was something a little different about me. You know, I knew that I could not seem to shut it off.
Yeah, you just kept going.
I just didn't have the off button. You know, and so without you know, inevitably, I got a bit out of control. And that affected my ability to show up on time and be responsible to the job, and they let me go, and that.
But
was,
they said you're the best.
Yeah, they said that I'm one of the most talented guys they had, yet I was unreliable, and it really rocked my world, and I saw myself saying, "Wow, I got a problem," you know, and enough to actually lose, you know, this job,
right.
and so at the time though, I recall. You know, I was living with a woman at the time, and I remember her, you know, kind of acknowledging that I had, you know, I need to get help. And I just was incensed by that. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
How dare you? How dare you tell me that I need to get help? And yet there was a gentleman that I knew in the business that worked with me at the very first studio that I had worked with that did drugs the way I did and partied the way I did. And I ran into him, and he looked different.
Looked different, sounded different, everything. Yeah.
Everything. And he said to me, you know, I know that you do things the way I did, you know,
used
did
to
things.
do them, right.
And if there's ever a time you need some help, let me know. And I was kind of whatever. But there was that time that came about.
Did you actually took the impetus to call him?
To be honest with you, in order to get this woman off my back, I said,
she probably really loved you, though. Huh?
Probably so. Yeah. And I said, well, I know a guy, and let me talk to him. And I made a call, and he took me to my very first meeting in recovery, and. You know, I was pretty judgmental. I thought, well,
you were high on the hog, and
I'm not as bad as these people, and But I brought home all the literature and all the little pamphlets and the big book and this and that, and I basically told her that, well, see, I have all the answers.
I got the answers right.
I got it all here. They say it's all in the book, and I had absolutely.
But you got to read the book, though.
I had absolutely no desire to get sober. I just needed. I wanted the heat off my back.
Sure.
But sure enough, it is a progressive disease, and it got worse.
Dis-ease.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable.
You bet. And it got more uncomfortable as time went on. And
you didn't stop there. You just kept going.
I kept going.
Oh,
and
lucky you.
early May of 1984. It was so bad that I thought I was dying. I absolutely felt
you didn't have a job at this time.
No, and I was on the street, and I didn't have a place to live.
You weren't living off residuals. You had nothing.
I had nothing.
You were done.
Yeah, and I had and honestly, truth be known, I had a job. It was on a movie called Romancing the Stone. It was February of 1984.
Sure, I remember that movie.
And I was working doing percussion overdubs with Alan Silvestri, the composer, and I fell asleep at the console. because I had been up for several days already. And I just closed my eyes, what I thought would be a moment, and I fell asleep. And I got fired from the show. Wow. And so there was this black mark against me, and it was a spiral, a downward spiral, of which...
But that didn't stop you either, huh?
Well, it didn't, and I got progressively worse. And then at a point where they wanted to hire me for another film, but the studio said, we really don't trust that he will be capable.
Right.
And I had that moment of clarity that, and I called. I hadn't lived with my parents in a while. I called my father and said, I'm in trouble. I cannot stop. My heart is jumping out of my chest, and I don't know what to do. And then I thought to, he said, well, get through this day and come home. And when I did, I gave him all of my paraphernalia.
Now, where was home at? Home
was in Woodland Hills, and that's where my folks lived. I gave him everything, and I said, I need to call this guy. And this guy was Tommy D, and this was the man who took me to that meeting late in '83. And I said, I can't stop. I need help. And can you help me? And that's when it started for me. He was willing to meet me at a meeting and take me and outlined a program of recovery.
Kept you busy, kept you going, got you involved in processes to uncover, discover, and discard what you think you know.
Yeah. And it was.
Was it easy to make that transition? Did you hit the bottom?
The bottom was bad, and it was
humiliating.
And the humiliating, the shame, the guilt, the remorse, the demoralization was so severe, and I was unemployable. As a result of it, I could actually clearly see the results of my behavior.
Somebody as talented as you,
and all of that talent would have amounted to nothing had I probably would have been dead.
Yeah,
if
you were lucky.
I truly believe I would not have survived 1984 had this scenario not happened. So lo and behold, I did the things that I was suggested to do, and put together some time, and all of a sudden I got a new job and was feeling good about myself for and I had hated what I had become as a result of that behavior. Right. So the self-loathing and all of that was disappearing, and I was starting to feel positive about myself. And
how'd you get back into it? How'd you get back into working?
Well, I got a call from a small facility called B&B Sound in Burbank.
They must have not seen that blacklist.
No, they didn't. They didn't. And I was just willing to do anything.
You
weren't
going to tell them either, were you?
No. No, I didn't feel that was necessary.
Or appropriate at that
moment. Or appropriate. And so, but they gave me an opportunity, and they had a small dub stage that is a mixing stage that was doing at the time just trailers, and they wanted to get into more serious television and hopefully some feature films. And they knew that my history in music might benefit them.
Right.
And I took that opportunity and started to mix with a gentleman named Jeff Habush there. And he and I worked together from 1983
to 1988.
To 1988, exactly, for 5 years. And we did 55 feature films, all low budget,
B movies,
very low end movies. And then at that point, I got a call from the head of Warner Brothers post-production facility, Don Rogers. Said, I've heard great things about you. I had been clean now, 4 or 5 years.
Now, he had heard a lot of the great stuff that come out of B&B, right?
Well, he heard from clients that had worked with me that also did higher level work that said, there's a young kid over here at a small facility that is really, really talented.
Just amazing, right?
And you might want to take a look at him. And that was how that started. Yeah.
Wow. So now they drafted you over to Warner Brothers? Did you win the Emmy first or what?
Well, the Emmy I won the year before I moved there, and it was in
the year before, while you were still
at B&B, yeah.
At B&B, and then what was the Emmy for?
It was for Jim Henson's Muppet Babies. It was a special, and for television, for kid daytime programming. And it was an honor. It was an honor. It was like, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. But when I did land the job at Warner Brothers, my very first film there was a movie called Tequila Sunrise.
Just another Tequila Sunrise.
Well, I don't know that the song was in the movie, but Tequila Sunrise was directed by Robert Towne, who was the Oscar-winning screenwriter what was Chinatown.
Right.
But anyway, it was a real honor to be given that opportunity. I can talk more about it. I don't know if we've got
we got
a little more time.
Yeah, we've got 30 more seconds before we
But
go.
I joined forces there with being hired by Don Rogers at Warner Brothers to work with Bob Litt and Elliot Tyson on a very famous mixing stage, and so
Really?
it was like being drafted to the big leagues.
Wow, that's amazing.
It really was.
How did that feel?
Well, it was fantastic. It felt like I was the dream. My dream was coming true, and I was just honored to actually be in the same room with these people whose careers I admired so much, and had their body of work was.
So at this point, were you feeling grateful? I mean, were you showing some gratitude rather than you're being a pompous?
I'll share with you an experience.
Do that when we come back.
And
this is great. I'm loving this. You're good.
Well, thank you, Bradley.
Good to have you here. Good to have you.
Thanks for nice.
All
being
right,
here.
everybody. This segment has been brought to you by the guys at GapZip.com. They say thoughts are things. Thoughts lead to actions, which lead to results. So if you're sick and tired of your results, take a look at your thinking. They'll be here with me tomorrow, March 28th. They consult with celebrities and dynamic leaders all over the world. GapZip.com. Hear them right here on Cool Change Radio tomorrow. This is Cool Change Radio. Hey, your home for self-improvement and a place to shape your vision of what's possible. I'm Bradley Quick, and yes, we'll be right back.
There are self-help seminars costing thousands of dollars guaranteeing miraculous transformations. There are compelling speakers and life-changing weekend experiences where you can walk on fire. They all deliver revelations that guarantee you'll come back for the more expensive revelations filled with even greater wonder next month on Fiji. We get addicted to positive, heartfelt, expensive theater. What we really need is a jumpstart, an awakening, someone who can give us a reminder that everything we need lies within. Through inspiration and practical knowledge, Dorothy Donahue helps people get grounded and motivated, inspired and energized. It's not just words and affirmations and the power of intention. It's a mindset brought about by a tangible, transcendental experience, an audio-visual, physical, spiritual experience that helps us realize we transform ourselves. We get tools to become the conscious co-creators of lives of unlimited potential. Find out more. Go to DorothyDonahue.com. You're listening to The Quick Fix with Bradley Quick. Purpose, power, motivation. We'll be right back.
I'm Melody Beattie, author of Codependent No More. 7 times more Americans have hepatitis C than AIDS. I'm one of them. If you're one of the millions of Americans with hepatitis C and your doctors are treating you with interferon, then you're clearly aware of how your life has been turned horribly upside down. Backed by huge pharmaceutical monies, the medical community swears there's only one dangerous, disabling way to battle this silent killer. It's not true. There are alternatives, and they work. Triumph Over Hepatitis C is a book written by best-selling author Lloyd Wright, who fully recovered from this frightening disease. Lloyd is helping others to take charge of their lives and fight for their body's freedom from this crippling illness. His program is working for me. Call the people at Hepatitis C Free now at 866-HEP-C-FREE. That's 866-HEP-C-FREE. Don't become another medical statistic. Find out the truth about hepatitis C and get your life back.
Get your copy of Triumph Over Hepatitis C at Barnes & Noble and at hepatitiscfree.com. Call 866-HEP-C-FREE.
Hey, welcome back. You're listening to Cool Change Radio, your home for self-improvement and a place to find your passion and purpose. I'm Bradley Quick, and we're right here right now to provide you with alternative solutions to the issues in your life. Hey, I'd like to share with you a great opportunity. You can join me down this June down in Teotihuacan, Mexico, home of the Toltec Pyramids. We hang out at Lee McCormick's place down there. It's called the Dreaming House. Just amazing. He actually goes down there 3 or 4 times a year, and it's an amazing thing. We go through the 5 portals of our lives and get to check out the other dimensions of existence. It's a fantastic thing. You get to jump out of the societal matrix and hop into the ancient Toltec wisdom matrix. It's an amazing experience, and one you should not go through life without having. You can go to www.spiritrecovery.com, and click on the Journeys link and join me down in the pyramids. But they also go to Machu Picchu. I'll be broadcasting live at an event of theirs called Soul Care in Joshua Tree here in Southern California. All of that information is on the Journeys link at www.spiritrecovery.com, and just check them out. They're doing this all year long, and it's all about you enhancing your life. you getting some enlightenment about other things that are happening in this universe. So it's a great place to be. SpiritRecovery.com, SpiritRecovery.com. Click on the Journeys link. Tell them you heard it on the show, and they'll definitely give you a discount. All right. He spent 12 years working on some Hollywood's biggest blockbusters, such as The Rock, Con Air, Armageddon, The Mask of Zorro, The Patriot, Pearl Harbor, Terminator 3, Bad Boys 2, Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, Memoirs of a Geisha. Memoirs of a Geisha. He did a bunch of stuff. Joining us once again is Emmy winner and 15-time Oscar-nominated, internationally renowned soundman, Greg Russell. Greg, welcome back.
Thanks, Bradley.
Man, it's so good to have you here.
Well, thanks for inviting me. This has been a privilege.
It's really like magic here, man.
Yeah, that's right. You've got a nice setup here.
So you were telling us a story about being humbled, coming back, right?
Well, I was given the opportunity to make the move from a very small facility to the big leagues at Warner Brothers, and being in a room filled with people that the names being, I'll give you an example, Robert Towne, who is the director of the film, was the Oscar winner screenwriter for Chinatown. Claire Simpson was the film editor, just had won the Oscar for Platoon for film editing 2 years prior to that. Dave Grusin, an award-winning composer. Kay Rose was a supervising sound editor, had been an Oscar winner. So I'm in a room filled with Oscar-winning people.
These are all Oscar-winning people, but we at the outside, out of the industry, can look at these people and say they have some great importance in their industry. But these are your superstars.
These are superstars. These are absolute superstars. And I have to say that one of the characters, Kurt Russell's character in the film, was modeled after, who was a good friend of the director's, was Pat Riley, the ex-coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. Pat came down to the studio to hang out, and I was a big Laker fan, especially Magic Johnson and Kareem and James Worthy, and back in that time, Showtime, as it were. But so I was honored to be around him, and he was asking me, wow, this is an amazing situation here, watching you guys mix this movie, and it seems like you've been working together forever. And I said, well, actually, this is my first movie here. Oh, wow. And he said, you're kidding me. I would have never known that. I said, well, truth be known, these people are, I'm in awe. I'm in awe of these people, and I'm like the rookie coming up, if I were to talk on your terms. I'm just feel so honored and privileged to be given this opportunity. And he said, you want to know something? Your humility. He says, I've got young kids that we've just drafted to the Lakers that are so arrogant, and their sense of entitlement is so righteous that he says, I'm going to share your story, because for you to be working in this environment and feeling so grateful and great and honored to even just be there is a great story. And that's truly how I felt. I wasn't sugarcoating anything. I was just so thrilled to be given the opportunity. So, and that being said, I flourished there. They gave me the opportunity. I succeeded there. Within a year's time, I mixed Black Rain for Ridley Scott with two tremendously talented mixers, Don Mitchell and Kevin O'Connell, and we were nominated for an Academy Award in 1989, and I was shocked. I was absolutely floored, and I spent the next almost 7 years at Warner Brothers doing some wonderful stuff. Steel Magnolias, a very rich, wonderful film, and many others, Star Trek VI, and a lot of fun action films. And so I had a great run at Warner Brothers, and then made the move to Sony Studios in 1995.
Was that a hard separation?
Well,
it was an opportunity.
It was a business. It was an opportunity that was going to put me in a position to work with once again a great guy who had a wonderful stage there, and he had great clients, and we were looking to elevate our game together. And that was certainly something I couldn't turn down. Leaving people that I had relationships with is always hard, and so but I had to do it for my career and the arc of my career, and it was an opportunity.
Before you tell us what happened at Sony, I want to hear that because this is so interesting. But tell me not the mechanics of being a sound man, but What makes it so beautiful for you? What is the blend? Is it the blend? What is it?
Well,
Did I ask that question all right?
No, I mean, put it this way, just in a general way, there are two disciplines in sound for motion pictures. There's the sound editors that gather all the material, whether it's all the dialogue elements or all of the sound effects and the backgrounds and the car sounds and skids and guns and bullet impacts, explosions, all of the sound and the content of the movie has to be laid out. It's like all the colors to work with. And then that comes to a mixing stage that then mixers go through and balance and create the dialogue tracks to make them even and smooth, that it's articulate and intelligible. And then we build all of the soundscapes, whether it's explosions or robots in the Transformers movies or Spider-Man's web sounds. And we blend all of these sounds together along with the music. And there are all of those elements, and that's the mixing of a movie. So editing is assembling all of the elements. Mixing is balancing and putting it all together. Correct.
So it isn't just going out there researching the music and putting the music up there, making sure it sounds good. It's the blend of everything.
It's balancing and all of the elements in a film. Correct.
That's much bigger than I had.
And answer to your question, one of the most satisfying experiences that a filmmaker is, whether it takes 2 to 3 years for a movie to be made, from inception to script to pre-production to shooting the movie to post-production, is a long journey. The movie doesn't really come to life until all the sound is in. It doesn't. Yeah. And so when a filmmaker's vision and his dream making this movie comes to life for him, it's pretty satisfying for most filmmakers. Yeah. It's an exhilarating moment to be working with us at the final stages. And we are the very last stage of the filmmaking process.
But you are so huge. You put life to it, don't you?
Well, I mean, we all do. I mean, it is a collaboration unlike anything I've ever known. And together we make what is the soundtrack, the final soundtrack to what you hear when you go see the film.
That's amazing. So now that I understand this a little bit better, congratulations. That's a huge talent. I mean, it's got to be huge. It's audio, it's visual, it's entirely kinesthetic, isn't it?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
What? So you moved on from Warner Brothers to Sony. These are not small names.
No. These are not. This is definitely the big leagues.
Leagues.
And from 1988, when I went to Warner Brothers, from there to present day, I've been incredibly blessed to work with some of the finest filmmakers and certainly the finest facilities that do this work. So, and that has been, a very big learning experience. Each filmmaker does things a little differently. You learn,
and because of that, because of your uniqueness, your talent, right? You're on an A-list, aren't you?
Well, yeah.
Of sound people.
Yeah. Thank God. Thank God for that. Wonderful. And with all the nominations and the high-profile films I've been a part of.
So you're not just earning union wage anymore?
No. No.
That's good.
No.
But you learned, though, from way back when the money came in and blew your everything, right?
Well, I worked for a long time not making much money at all, and today is a little different than that. But again, more importantly than the money, which is great, don't get me wrong, I'm able to have a quality of life.
It's only because you do what you do, and you do it sanely and cleanly and accurately with such great talent that money will come, right?
Yeah, it does. And
byproduct.
The biggest reward for me is that I really love what I do. The greatest gift, other than to, one, I'm clean today. I don't have the battles and struggles that I've had in the past. I'm free to be able to be all that I can be. And that is a tremendous, the number one gift, I were to say. But that I've been employed for over 30 years.
Wow, that's huge.
In something that I love to do is probably the biggest, most amazing gift I can think of, next to my family. And my family is all important to me. It's tough with the schedule that I have because I work a lot. And
yeah, you told me before we started here today that you don't get a chance to do much of anything but work.
I do
and so
work.
that's got to affect the family as well. Doesn't it?
It does. And I have an amazing wife, a beautiful wife, and
she's gorgeous,
and a wonderful daughter, Riley Russell.
Tell us about Riley Russell,
Riley Russell,
wife, and everything when we come back.
I will.
It's just about almost time to get out of here again.
You bet.
And you're going to hang in with me through the fourth segment. I'm excited about that.
Well, thank you.
All right,
thank you.
Listen, everybody, stay put. You're in the right place. Cool Change Radio would like to welcome all our new talk shows, so we've got a bunch of them coming in and a bunch of them arriving right now. Stay in touch with Cool Change Radio and find out all about them. We're coming back with more Greg Russell, superstar, man, A-list sound guy. He's here with us on the Cool Change Radio. This is so wonderful, so wonderful. Well, you're home for self-improvement here on your Solutions Radio Network. We'll see you in a minute. Get quality goods for less from Bag City, serving all of Reno, Denver, Las Vegas, Bakersfield, Salt Lake City, Los Angeles, and many more cities. Up to 70% below retail on everything. Coin purses, wallets, organizers, purses, briefcases, backpacks, traveling garment bags, and ladies' and men's leather jackets. All discounted, all up to 70% below retail. Bag City, the best for less? Bag City serving all of Reno, Denver, Las Vegas, Bakersfield, Salt Lake City, Los Angeles, and many more cities. Contact Bag City at 818-990-1795. That's Bag City, quality goods for less money. Bag City, where 15% of all sales go to local charities. You can't beat that. You help local charities while getting quality goods at up to 70% below retail. Contact Bag City now at 818-990-1795. Contact Bag City today and get quality goods for less money. That's 818-990-1795. Shop Bag City to save. Shop Bag City for charity. Bag City, 818-990-1795.
You're listening to The Quick Fix with Bradley Quick. Purpose, power, motivation. We'll be right back.
Today, experience The Quick Fix, a simple process for positive change. Written by Bradley Quick, author, producer, motivational speaker, and host of the award-winning radio talk show, The Quick Fix with Bradley Quick on CoolChangeRadio.com. Bradley's passion for life is evident in his book, written so you can experience health, find your purpose, and have more effective relationships. Beating insurmountable odds, overcoming death, and being paralyzed, Bradley fought his way back so he could help you conquer your struggles. Experience increased health, vitality, passion, and purpose in your life right now with The Quick Fix, and read about Bradley's courage, ambition, and determination to live. Whether the issue is your thoughts, your physical body, or you just want to feel better and be happy, The Quick Fix, a simple process for positive change, will change your life. For only $19.95 plus shipping and handling. Take positive action now and receive a free guided meditation CD with your order. That's a $20 value free with your order today. Go to BradleyQuick.com. That's BradleyQuick.com. Take control and begin feeling better now. Get the book and free CD now at BradleyQuick.com.
Hey, welcome back. Thank you all for joining us on CoolChangeRadio.com, Facebook.com, and BradleyQuick.com. As you know, you can catch our live and recorded video shows on CoolChangeRadio.com and over 700 hours of my best audio interviews, your favorite topics and personalities at BradleyQuick.com. This is Cool Change Radio, as you well know. We're broadcasting live from Freddie Siegel Studios. We're your home for self-improvement and a place for positive life enhancement. I want you to know we're being supported in large part by one of my favorite charities, the Cool Change Foundation. The foundation was created to help families and all the children in those families. They do that by providing positive transformational life enhancement methods and techniques to those children's caretakers, usually moms and dads, so they may overcome negative habits and become better role models and providers for the kids. As a direct result, the children's home and family life becomes more nurturing and loving. You can help the Cool Change Foundation help the mom, dads, and kids in your community, and you can do that right now. Simply send your donation of love and support directly to the foundation at www.thecoolchangefoundation.org. That's thecoolchangefoundation.org. Once there, simply click on the Support Us link at the top of the page. You'll be helping us help the kids. Again, that's www.thecoolchangefoundation.org. Click on the Support Us link and help us today. Every penny counts. No donation is ever too small, and the children need your help. From all of us here at Cool Change Radio, we thank you for your support. All right, Here in the fourth segment with us is Emmy winner and 15-time Oscar-nominated, internationally renowned superstar Superman, Greg Russell. Greg, welcome back.
Thanks, Bradley. Thanks.
Man, so you were going to tell us something. What were we going to tell us?
I talked a little bit about the blessings of doing what I love to do for a living,
the mechanics of it,
for all these years. But I was blessed, with my family. One, starting with my mom and dad were incredibly supportive, even through the tough times. So I've always had that sense of grounding, that family's important, and those relationships are key. It goes into my adult life. I have an extraordinary wife who understands, the demands of my work and my schedule, and she's a pretty independent woman, so she's not longing when you coming home, because I do work a lot of hours in this business. So she's incredible, and she runs an amazing household. And within that household is our wonderful daughter Riley, and who's 9 years old now, and she's in third grade. And we couldn't be prouder of her. She's not only a wonderful, sweet kid, but she's a very compassionate young lady. You can see that in the way that she deals with her friends, and how caring she is, and how she wants people to be fair. And she's it's extraordinary. We just came back from a school, conference as to how they describe how your daughter's doing and what's going on in school. And, as parents, we couldn't be prouder as to the things that we hear from them about our kids. So, and for me, just recently, we were nominated once again, our 15th time, and one of the things, when not winning again, I came home and I realized that all of that accolades and all of the things that happen in my business are just that. It's about work, and those acknowledgments are wonderful. But coming home to my family, the love that we have in our home, the peaceful surroundings that we create. Because we live a certain kind of life now, and my daughter is benefiting from that. Where my wife is very rational and very kind and very considerate, and so it's calm. There's calm. There's a sense of calm in our home, and I attribute that more to my wife, because I'm a little on the rougher side, and not in that. I'm much more vocal and highs and lows and whatnot, but grateful for my wife grounding our homestead, and we have it's a great life, and I have a great life today for a lot of reasons, and great relationships with quality people, and try to surround myself with winners, and try to and I can see people for who they are a lot quicker now than I did maybe when I was younger. So really try and surround myself with quality people.
You're working with a quality person now, aren't you? Partnering up with Scott Millan?
Scott Millan, a really fantastic mixer, a 4-time Oscar-winning mixer, but more.
He won and you didn't?
I've been there. I've seen him win 3 of his 4. I was up against him, and I always said, well, if you can't beat them, join them.
Sure.
So we're together now in a new venture on the Paramount lot in a facility that is built by Technicolor, and it's an extraordinary place. They built a from the ground up beautiful facility.
I think I've seen pictures of your board there. Which makes my board look like nothing.
Yeah, well, one day you'll have to come and visit and have lunch. You'll enjoy that. But Scott's he was just honored by the Cinema Audio Society with the Career Achievement Award, which is the highest honor the organization gives. And
Don Morgan got one of those.
He got one in cinematography.
Yeah, exactly.
And but I couldn't be more thrilled to be associated with a class act in Scott. So we're starting a new venture. It's a new chapter.
Really?
It's I left Sony after 16 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
And I had a great run there, and they were fantastic to me there. But now we've got a brand new venture here at Technicolor at the Paramount lot. So we're very excited. It's
What are you doing? What is the project?
Well, our first project. What we're working on now is G.I. Joe: The Retaliation, which is a June release for Paramount. directed by John Chu, and it's a very exciting film. It's action, it's a sequel to the original G.I. Joe 2 years ago, I believe. I think it's a cooler movie. I think people are going to be surprised of it's really fantastic entertainment. So we've got similar sound team that did Transformers in the sound editorial, Ethan Vanderin and John Marquis. So we've got some really top grade, first rate guys, and
all the A-list,
and I'm mixing it with Scott. So in our brand new Stage 1 at Technicolor. So we're pretty pumped about that.
That sounds exciting. Well, we got a couple minutes left.
Yeah.
What would you tell somebody that number one is struggling with themselves in life? Is it maybe young, middle aged, old, doesn't make any difference. And in the second topic or subject or point would be, how would you inspire them, or what would you say so they might follow their dream?
Well, first and foremost is my change happened for me when I was able to admit that I had a problem, and that and the willingness to ask for help.
That was the willingness to ask for help for anything.
Yeah, for anything.
Right.
I mean, today my ego, regardless of whatever I know my quickest fix is to say, how do I do this?
Right.
Help me.
Help me.
Help me.
Right.
Help me figure this out.
Right.
And that I know without question in everything that I do is a key component to me moving ahead and winning and becoming a better person. And because it's almost like going to a grocery store and I'm looking for the shampoo. I can go up and down those aisles, 1A, 2A, 2B, 2B. But if I walk right over to the clerk and go, where's the shampoo? And they go, aisle 5A, and I walk straight to 5A, I've saved 30 minutes.
Right.
30 minutes of...
Great analogy.
Where is it? And so that's what I do in life. I go to the people that have solved their problems in whatever that might be, personal, professional, whatever, and I say, how do I do this? You have experience, and I'll go to the people with experience in these areas. And that I find to be the biggest strength of how do you get from here to there? Ask.
Right.
Ask for directions. How do you get here? How do you get there from here? Ask directions.
Right. Find some people that have been through that same type of issue and go for it.
Yeah. And the other, being true to your dream, if you're passionate and you have a passion, pursue it. There's nothing more satisfying than to actually do what you love to do. Because if you do what you love to do, it's not work.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that's amazing.
It's a joy. And I look forward to going to work each and every day. I'm going to head to the studio now when I get through here, and I smile. I get to go and
being humble, staying humble is really a big part of it too, isn't it?
Well, I believe that. I really believe in that. I've worked with some of the biggest people in Hollywood, and I'll give you Jack Nicholson. I sat with him at the console in 1990, and that guy was so humble and gracious and sweet, and I thought, wow, if that guy can be that, if Jack can say hello to the assistant of the assistant, to acknowledge people,
that's
and
amazing.
I thought that I learned something there in those moments, that no matter how big or whatever it is that you accomplish, there's always reach out to whomever. We're no different. We're all human beings here on this planet. And I think that in helping others is the true key to really personal satisfaction. Service.
Yeah.
Service is huge.
Staying humble, making people smile.
I think so. I really do. I believe in that.
Do me a favor.
Yeah.
Promise me you'll come back here.
I would love to.
This has been so much fun.
Well, thanks for having me. It's I know we couldn't do this back in February when the Oscars were going, and
you were busy.
I was a little busy,
right?
But I'm
delighted. So happy that you're here.
Well, thank you.
And you will come back. We will make this happen.
Would love to.
Yeah, and thanks for hanging with me through the fourth segment.
Well, thank you.
That was magic. Your magic.
Okay? Thanks and.
Keep it up.
Have a great day.
All
I
right,
appreciate it.
Be good. Hey, everybody. Again, I'd like to give a great big thanks to Fred Siegel and our friends from around the globe for supporting our charity, the Cool Change Foundation. You too can help the foundation help the mom, dads, and kids in your community, and you can do that right now. Simply see your donation, love and support, and a little bit of money doesn't hurt either. To www.thecoolchangefoundation.org. That's thecoolchangefoundation.org. Thanks for all of it. We really appreciate it. I'd like to thank our guest, the fabulous Emmy winner and Oscar-nominated, internationally renowned sound guy, Greg Russell. You can check him out at IMDb. Check him out there anytime you want. I also like to thank you to make this show happen. Our fantastic engineers, Rob Gainey, author of Rockin' Your Stage Sound, available in bookstores now. Rockin' Your Stage Sound. Go get it. You can sound as good as we do. Our fitness expert will be back with us again, Paul Madrano. He'll be back with us again tomorrow. Show is produced by Bradley Quick Productions. It's been made possible by Fred Siegel, YouTube, Google, Buzzbros, The Salvation Army, Universal Studios, Milestones Ranch Malibu, Tim Allen, Carrie White, Marilyn Toth, and many others, including the Cool Change Foundation. You heard it. Service is very important. Go help somebody. You'll be helping yourself by putting a smile on somebody else's face. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.